Again, yeah, we might have to just bag it here tonight. This is kind of a train wreck. 51 is not going nearly as smoothly as 50 did. God, the usual Gong show. Alex Van Dam's been sticking through us, although we still have 9 visitors. God, how are we having this many viewers? And what's nice is we have a bunch of new ones.
Yeah.
God, what a mess. Well, welcome. This is what we usually end up with, gang. This is normally it's a little bit smoother than this normally on most nights, but God, for crying out loud. But aren't you guys supposed to be watching SmackDown Live or something? or the Talkback Live, the one that Daniel Bryan and Renee Young are hosting.
How did you like that Miz promo he cut on Daniel Bryan?
I thought it was unbelievable. I love the Miz. I am a huge mark for the Miz, and that made it even doubly so.
Exactly. So, guys, in case we get booted here, we're having some major performance issues with the Twitch broadcast tonight. We might have to bail on you early and try to circle back. And
we're gonna go as long as we can. I'm gonna try to go as long as we can here. Yeah, I probably do need to restart my computer. It's probably exactly what I need to do, but I am feeling way too lazy to go ahead and reboot everything. And that would of course fix things. I mean,
of course, it would take a half an hour anyway. So
no. My machine actually reboots pretty quick. It's not like it's my Mac. My God, I'm due for a machine upgrade across the board. I'm old. I'm out of money. I just built a house for F's sake, and so yeah, I gotta watch my purchases here. So. But, no, Heaven Spawn. I know SmackDown went off 30 minutes ago, but they've got that Talkback Live that's on the network. That's like the little live feedback show. It's actually a lot of fun to watch because I think the guys get out there and they're just kind of winging it, and that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun to watch when they're not so scripted. And like I said, when they had that Miz promo, my God, that thing was unbelievably epic. But.
Yeah, exactly.
Weren't you getting a new PC web nerd? Layaway season is coming. You guys suck. I hate you guys. No, you know what I need to do? I think my system is actually in pretty decent shape. I just built this thing maybe a year and a half ago. And it's not a bad machine, but I installed a bad operating system on it. I installed a Windows 7, but it was not the 64-bit version, and so it doesn't have access to all my RAM because, again, I'm an idiot. So I'm probably going to end up having to just upgrade to Windows 10 or whatever the hell is coming out now, and then and I think that's just it's got all the 48-bit or whatever the hell it is, 64-bit by default. So that will likely be my next purchase. So
that's good. That's good, man. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm seeing pop up in chat. Zeron, good to see you again, buddy.
Why don't you guys build your own PC? I totally did, Heaven Spawn. I actually it started out as a Hackintosh. It was pretty cool. It was a Mac made out of parts, which is not something that's easily done. And then I kind of abandoned that and just made it my Steam gaming machine. So yeah, I agree. I'm only going to do that from now on. I'm never going to buy a Dell or a Mac probably ever again. And so I'm kind of actually blueprinting out the next Hackintosh because my main Mac, I've got one of those big Mac Pro towers that weighs about 85 pounds. And it's been oh God, I'm going to be so depressed to give up this machine because it has been just such a workhorse. And but it's also doubles as a space heater. So this room gets fairly hot fairly quickly whenever I do any kind of graphics work. And so, yeah, that's going to break my heart. I do not want to replace that machine, but, what can I say? But,
next machine I'm
seeing a lot of new names. Is Zeron who I think it is?
Yeah. The Zeron, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of catching up on. Oh yeah, use a cooling system liquid for your next computer, possibly. Yeah, I've seen the liquid cooled fans and all that stuff, and you're not even joking. They look sweet. So I'm kind of partnering it out right now. There's a great website for anybody who's even remotely interested. I'm completely deviating off topic tonight. Called Tony Mac. And what they specialize in is building Hackintoshes. And so they have full parts lists, full processors, full links to Newegg, cases, all that kind of stuff, where you can just go down line by line and just start picking out whether you want a slim form factor, like like one of those little small, Apple TV sized, or if you just want like a big tower that's got all the horsepower you're going to need. And so I'm kind of trying to figure out the bang for buck, but it's a sweet website, and they have all the drivers and all that stuff that you need, and it's astonishingly cool that you can just kind of go through part by part. Now, I did a little bit poorly last time, where I was literally just kind of picking processors and RAM and all that stuff at random, and I wasn't able to get everything quite talking to each other for a while, which is why this thing mostly became a PC machine. So, yeah, so we got Xeron. Xeron is of our Steam page fame.
That's right, man.
Responsible for a good chunk of our most awesome screenshots, and that's so much fun.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, you're not even joking. They're saying I need a server-sized computer. Like, actually, one of the local colleges was selling like this big giant server rack for like $50. And I thought, oh, that'd be pretty funny to just stick in the background and make it look like I'm streaming like 8,000 streams or something like
That's
that.
That's right. Pirate Bay moved to Eric's house.
Yeah. But not so much. Even it wasn't even like, I don't even know how I drive like a really small like Prius, and I don't even know how the hell I'd get like this big giant server rack into my car. So. Yeah, our local college was blowing out. Our university was blowing a lot of their inventory, so you can even get like cheap furniture and all this kind of stuff, and sport T-shirts for like $2. It's great. It's a great Facebook group. If you're needing like computer chairs and all that kind of stuff, they're selling them for like $20. It's great. And for cheapskates like me, who again out of money and need a computer equipment, it's like, hey, that's kind of fun. You can get like RAM chips for like $5. It's great, but it's all good. It's all good. And it's all university stuff. I'm sure it's it's probably just surplus stuff that they couldn't get rid of. So
yeah, beat the crap out of work, eh?
Exactly. So what else you been up to, my man? I haven't talked to you in quite some time here.
Yeah, just wrapping up the summer. Everybody's back to work, back in school.
I saw the little one was the little one. She's what, 10th grade now?
I know, man.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I keep looking at that.
I've been, like I said, you watch all this stuff, and I'm sure anybody who else has been on. Is it me or the stream's a lot more fluid than before? Yeah, Xeron. Yeah, you picked it. Yeah, we've been crashing like 800 times here tonight. Maybe that is more fluid than it normally is. I have no idea. I know why. Is because I have bandwidth now. That's why. Xeron hasn't joined us in a little while. I've moved. I built a house like an idiot, and no, not like an idiot. It turned out sweet. I'm very happy with the move. But the problem was I was on a really crappy DSL service before, and the only internet that was available in this area was high-end cable. So I actually have like upload speed now. It's wonderful.
Nice.
Before I was barely getting 1 meg upload. Now I'm getting like 2.5 or 3 upload, and I think I was getting a max of I wasn't even getting 6 down. Now I'm getting 35. It's great.
Man, you're laughing.
All right, Alex Van Dam jumping in. Dave, what is your favorite wrestling moment of all time?
Favorite wrestling moment of all time?
Boy, that's going to be really hard to pick.
Nah, it's actually pretty obscure. Watching Stampede Wrestling, where Bret Hart and his family ran. Back in the day, I lived in the area, and we'd watch Stampede Wrestling every Saturday, and there was this one moment that happened where Bad News Allen, who wrestled later as Bad News Brown in the WWF, he was facing a guy called the Stomper, who was so legitimately mean-looking and tough that the Hard kids would actually run and hide whenever he came to the house, But there was this angle where Bad News Allen took the Stomper's son outside the ring and gave him a couple pile drivers on the concrete floor. And they did it so well and so convincing. Of course, this was back in the days before sports entertainment, mind you. It was so convincing that the hospital in Calgary actually had to shut down the phone systems because too many people were phoning to ask about this kid who had his neck broken, and they actually lost their license to perform due to the realistic violence of the angle.
Wow.
And Stampede Wrestling wasn't actually, they had to hold all their shows outside of city limits for a while after that because they weren't allowed to operate within Calgary city limits due to that one angle. And the announcer quit on the air, legitimate. He just said, I've had it with the way this is going, and this isn't what I don't support this kind of violence, and I'm done. And he literally hung the microphone over the top rope and walked out,
Wow.
Yeah. So everyone's just like, oh my God. It was the talk of the elementary school, for a long time, that angle. Bret Hart, I think he dedicated a chapter in his book to it, and almost any book written about Stampede Wrestling, they bring up that angle because it was probably, intentionally or not, the most realistic angle they ever pulled off, So
that's a pretty good choice. I was sitting there trying to think of, I was still trying to think of mine, and I've got so many. I was thinking, one of my favorites was, I'm trying to do this kind of chronologically, AJ coming out for the Rumble. I completely lost my shit. Oh, yeah. Completely lost my shit. Jericho coming out and doing, like, those debuts are amazing.
Yeah.
Or Jericho came out on The Rock. I don't know. I remember when Benoit won the title at WrestleMania. I marked out pretty hard for that one. I told you about last week about the house show that New Jack almost bled on me.
Yeah.
That's the one where they put the Prada jet through the flaming table. God, I was live when Jerry Lynn won his ECW heavyweight title for the first time. It was there in Minneapolis.
Nice.
God, I'd have to think about that. Do like a top 10 or something like that. But WWE just posted a bunch of new old classic stuff.
Oh yeah,
I guess they were finding some of the pretty obscure tapes over the years and uploaded all those. And I made reference to Gagne Metrics, where he was talking about isometric exercise. And he's got like this whole little DDP yoga, not yoga. He's got like 4 exercises, but he used like doorways and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he couldn't call it isometrics. He had to call it whoa. God, the wrestlers were just doing a do-si-do there. That was pretty impressive. Swing your partner round and round. Yeah, so that was fun. That's some fun stuff. I'd have to think about a lot of those. I'm sure there's a lot of like AJ matches, a lot of Rob Van Dam matches, because those are, like I said, I went to high school with Rob Van Dam, so so I always kind of like, you take a special interest in his career and all that kind of stuff, just kind of making sure. And same for AJ because he worked with us for so long in the game and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, I got a lot of any of his moments. I'm loving his latest feud here with Dean Ambrose. They look like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, the TLC 3 match at WrestleMania 17, definitely with the spear on Jeff Hardy off when he was hanging was just unbelievable.
Yeah. I've got those DVDs, Raw and SmackDown top 50 or 100 greatest moments or whatever. Mm-hmm. I can't part with them. I know we can watch it all on YouTube, but they're just such great DVDs.
Yep. I remember, even I'm thinking like the Saturday Night Main Events. I'm trying to go back to go way back. I remember when Savage hit Hogan with the belt when they were backstage, and knocked over Elizabeth and all that kind of, oh my God. Couldn't believe it. I remember when Savage got hit with the Honky Tonk Man's guitar. Bret Hart and Neidhart were holding them arm in arm, and Elizabeth came out there and hit, and Honky Tonk Man pushed Elizabeth down. Yeah. Holy shit, I couldn't believe that. Oh my God.
It's amazing what they got away with back in the day.
Well, it's funny because I never got any of the pay-per-views or anything. We didn't have a ton of money, and I was never going to be able to convince my parents to throw down $25 to watch WrestleMania 3. And that I really wanted to go to that one. It was in my home state. I should have gone. I mean, it was 2 hours away. But, that will always be a regret of mine. I didn't go to the Ford Field one either. But, yeah, so I'm hoping. I got a brother who lives in Minneapolis now, and they just built this colossal new stadium, and it looks gorgeous. And I'm sure they're going to go after our WrestleMania. And if they ever host, I'm definitely in for sure.
Oh hell yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I didn't mean to deviate off topic here. Sorry guys, damn web nerd. Why? I know, isn't I? Well, first off, the WrestleMania 3, I would have been 10, 11.
Yeah,
and my dad was not a huge wrestling fan. I mean, it's not like I could have hopped in the car.
Yeah.
And I have no earthly explanation why I didn't go to the Ford Field one. That makes absolutely no sense to me, other than maybe just like they were just like shit seats left, and I was like, okay, I don't want to spend $100 and not even see anything. And driving to Detroit is kind of a pain in the ass, like where to park, all that stuff. It really sucks down there. I even don't go into a Tiger game, but I like I said, Mania is definitely on the bucket list for sure. I'm kicking. I got to tell you, Dave, I'm kicking around the idea of doing Tokyo for the Olympics in 4 years. Doesn't that seem like the stupidest, most awesome idea though? Like, and especially if I got to see some Tokyo Dome shows or something like that when I was older.
Oh man, no kidding.
I've always wanted to see a Tokyo Dome show.
That would be an experience, man. If you can make it happen.
WrestleMania cheapest seats is $316. That cannot possibly be right because I thought I priced them out, and I thought the nosebleeds were like $120. But so what do you guys do when you're not working on Pro Wrestling X? Like, what are your day jobs?
Well, Pro Wrestling X is my day job. It's not making me particularly wealthy, but it's my day job, and when I'm
Dave
not
doesn't
doing that,
program or design or do art or any of that stuff.
I pretty much, beg for money and answer emails.
He does our Facebook stuff.
Yeah, when I'm not doing that, I'm parenting and trying to keep this 100-year-old house from collapsing on top of me.
Yep. I'm a web developer. I do websites and some graphic design and all that kind of fun jazz. I've been self-employed for, oh my God, is this year number 13?
Wow.
Yeah, I left it's year number 14. I left in 2002.
Wow.
So I got my own gig, and so I embrace the pants-free lifestyle, working out of my house. No, Dave doesn't have the dream job. I have the dream job. I have the pants-free existence. Now, however, I don't do the game programming or the art either. I do the newsletters. I do the website, which needs to be rebuilt like crazy. That's another thing on the list.
Yeah, that's an oldie now, eh? Jeez.
God, that thing is so ancient. But it's all right. I got some ideas for the next one, and as we get closer to 1.0, we're going to have to launch with a new website and all that kind of fun jazz. So,
as far as other day jobs, our lead artist and animator, he works full-time for arguably one of the biggest video game companies in the world. So that keeps him busy. So that's why he works as much as he can in his spare time on Pro Wrestling X when he's not working on games you're probably playing. When you're not playing Pro Wrestling X.
That's right.
And then, our programmer, man, he does what he's got to do to pay the bills and work on Pro Wrestling X in his spare time as well. So.
Yep. Any advice on freelance? Get established in the industry, make a bunch of contacts, do a lot of good job, like do a good job for people, like while you're there, and then once they start going to other places and you get a lot of contacts, then make the jump to freelance. It's really, really hard to do it when you don't have like already established contacts. Your LinkedIn's. See, when I did it, it wasn't LinkedIn. That did not exist. But I worked with a lot of people, and when they would leave, they would take my name with them. And then the other thing is, don't ever like piss anybody off, because more than likely you'll be working with them in 5 years at some point.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the PWX website has been left for dead. The forums are dead. Yes, the forums have been dead for quite some time. In fact, I may have like put a bullet in the forums a while ago. Maybe they're still live. I don't even know anymore. They're awful.
Forums are kind of a thing of the past.
Go look at Steam. Do the Steam forums. They've got all the security. They've got all that stuff. So.
Exactly. They got good moderation when it's needed and whatnot. So we're kind of trying to move everything towards a more central place. Website forums are kind of over.
Oh, we got 2 questions here. We got Zeron. Let you guys vote on the next project, Photoshop drawing. Do you guys want to see an original character or an original arena? That is a very good question.
Yeah.
I think I'd love to see... You know what? I would love to see the character, because the character is much more likely to be actually in the game before the arena will be ready for that.
Yeah.
Because right now, like I said, I know we're working on the body types, we're working on all that kind of stuff. But God, if you had a new skin for us, that could, that you could mod into the game, I'd love to see that personally.
Yeah,
that's just
cool,
me.
man.
That's my vote. That's the vote of one.
That's mine too.
And then we got A-Grown 2. Anybody hyped for season 3 of Lucha Underground?
Yes.
I have not watched seasons 1 or 2.
Got to get on it, man.
Shame on me. I have got to do some, let's just say, acquisition of these. They kept threatening that they were going to put them up on Netflix and all this kind of stuff, and I haven't seen jack squat.
No, I mean,
so I'm going to have to maybe acquire them through some other means. But yeah, I definitely got to catch up on this. It sounds like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I've got mixed feelings about how they do the matches and that kind of stuff, but I want to at least give it a shot.
Yeah, you got to. They won me over, man. They are awesome.
Will the Brock Lesnar of programming, Robert, making his return soon?
He's working tonight, man. He's working on Pro Wrestling X as we speak. So
he does not do the chats too often. When we get him, it's usually a pretty special occasion. Like I say, he likes to be in the background a little bit. He's not this whole Twitch stuff. I mean, he's so funny and he's so hyped, and it's so great because his energy is so contagious. I would love to have him on more often, but it's not really his bag of tricks, and he doesn't always have like the greatest of connections too. Like sometimes he has to like he had to call on his cell phone for the 50th broadcast. So I think we'll try to get him in a little bit more often, especially when he's got like I said, a brand new build to show off that he can kind of like I said, he gets so hyped. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, he's a fun guy to have on, man. Hey, I'm wondering, let's ask the chat room. If anybody's interested in seeing something we've never shown anyone before, maybe we can share it. I'm not sure, but I found a video, just an over-shoulder camcorder of me playing a Pro Wrestling X prototype from 2002, 2003. It's pretty hilarious.
I don't. I would like. Do we have a like? Which one is this?
This is before Telefilm, when we were trying to put a crew together, and we needed people to provide us with almost like demos of what they were able to do, right? So this one programmer, an artist, a team who applied for the gig and did end up working for us in some respect, put together this technical demo of hand-to-hand combat, but they kind of did it with a Def Jam Vendetta kind of vibe to it, I'll see if I can share it with you.
Yeah, let me. Oh God, this will probably bring our stream down. But let's try it.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Can't hurt. Let's see here. Share screen. Share a window. Yeah, share that window,
We'll
man.
see if this works. We never know here tonight, gang. All right, well, let me see if I can pull this bad boy up here and protect your privacy while we're at it. Let's see. All right, gang, we're gonna try this.
Can you see the image? It's paused right now.
I got it. I'm just kind of setting it up so I get the windows all in the right mode here.
Cool. Well, let me know when I hit play.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Cool.
Yeah. So explain to me what we're going to be seeing.
So this is before. Remember that demo that I showed last Twitch? Where we had a basic creative wrestler and whatnot.
Oh, crikey! Don't just do the YouTube video. We've got like window upon window upon window going.
Oh, right.
Close your chat.
There you go.
Gong.
So this is what we actually initially applied for prototype funding with. This was our like prototype of a prototype.
So give us a date here.
This is, I don't know the exact date, but it's probably 2003, and it's before we applied for funding to do a prototype.
You seriously have the House of Cards
I know.
ringtone.
So this is like a little technical demo we put together to get funding to make the prototype that I played for everybody last Twitch. So this is actually.
So this is just a video. This is not you actually. This is not you're not playing this live. This is just a YouTube clip of like some over-the-shoulder stuff.
Yeah. So I'll let it play here, and you can see.
I'm not so sure I've even seen this before.
You might not have. This is actually, I think, even before you.
Good Lord, they're in a disco.
I know, right? We got strobe lights. We've got giant speakers and cars, and for some reason we have.
So that's not flicker. That is deliberate strobe lighting.
Yeah. And for some reason, the one guy only knows how to punch and do a judo roll. Oh, game over. Game over. And there's me scratching my head going, what have I done?
So when did you play that again?
Yeah, sure.
So when did you take this video?
You know what? I think I took this video about a year ago.
Is this on like the old Pro Wrestling Dave account?
I think this I actually found on our shared Google Drive.
They're all saying they want to play it. It's like holy shit, that looks badass. What? Yeah, Zeron's like, what have I created? I'm serious. I'm loving the disco stuff. We might have to do a disco mode or something.
Yeah.
Oh my dear Lord. So who built this and who saw this?
This, and I might be, if I'm not mistaken, this was actually put together by Mike, who worked with us to get to Steam Early Access.
Oh,
programmer.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That goes way back.
Way back in the day when I first met him, yeah. So this was kind of like the job application video, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Wow, that's
yeah, I know, right? You're gonna see some. Hey, look at me,
Dave. You come. Whoa, is that the? What is that called? Backroom brawl?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's the original backstage assault, man.
And he's like a camouflaged warrior. Like what? Like this is like a Oh my God!
This is like just open source, free art assets they use to throw it together, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is intense. So you have like giant speakers back there.
Yeah,
Are
there's
there like women in the background? Like those are like rats or what? I mean, what's going
on? Well, there's some people standing there. You got a balcony like the Hammerlock with some people up there, and then you got some cars for some reason.
I just like the fact that it's like rave mode. Yeah.
I know, right?
I actually love the way it plays. Looks like a bit like Here Comes the Pain for some reason.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Dave used that style for backstage mode. He's badass.
Oh,
is that a character, an early concept of Troop? No, that is by no means early concept of Troop. That is stock art, baby.
Yeah.
Looks like an M. Dickey game on steroids. I love the arena. See what
See what I should do, man. I should actually get all these old prototypes and demos together, and we should.
You guys aren't supposed to mark out for this stuff. You guys are supposed to be like, ha, you guys have come so far. What about your shit?
Yeah, right.
All this stuff. They're all about it. They're marking out. They're all saying this should be in the game. It's like used for a parking lot backstage fight. Oh my God, we may have to. There may be some Easter eggs that might have to happen.
We should actually compile all these old technical prototypes and demos and release them, just for kicks. God.
Well, I mean, that's part of the
history.
Well, and even just things like, potentially like for not expansion packs, but like, for, the Steam Deluxe package, if you're doing some of that, you know what I mean? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that is so funny.
So do you want to stop sharing my screen?
What do you want to go back to the grandma porn, or do you?
Well, no. If I click back to Twitch, we get cascading windows,
right?
Fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Kaboing.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll appropriately hide your window here.
Epic. And actually, there is. If I can find it, I think I saw it today. There is actually one further technical demo that's even older than this. That's even more.
That prototype
just
is better than the other one you showed us. I actually have to agree with that.
Well, you know what? It might look better aesthetically, but trust me, it was almost unplayable. I think there was one move and a punch, and the collision was faked and non-responsive. So the video doesn't do how badly it played justice.
Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible to play. Almost unplayable.
But but it was that's going to happen. This was what, 2002? 2003?
Yeah, 2003, yeah.
Any Cage news? Yeah, for those who are just joining, we're working on it. We've got why don't you run down? You said you kind of had the list of animations that are thumbs up and thumbs down.
Climb on the cage from the outside is done. Climb onto cage from inside the apron is not started. Climb up, down, left, right while on the cage are all done. Climb up to the top of the cage from the wall is done. Climb down from the top to the right side is done. Climb down from the top to the left side is in progress. Cage wall idle is done. Cage top idle is in progress. Off the cage to the floor, in progress. Off the cage to the apron is the last one to be started. So, yeah, man, you don't think about it when you play these cage matches, but there's a lot of art assets and animations to be done just to get basic functionality.
The other build played better than Uprising. Wow.
No, actually it didn't. It might have looked better. But
well, you can. Why don't you stop? You can stop sharing your screen. I've got it off the broadcast now, just so it's not sucking up any more of my bandwidth, your bandwidth, or anything like that.
I'd love to, but I can't figure out how now. Okay.
Gong.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, now you're back. Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
Taunt while climbing the cage. Was that one of the ones you said?
No, but we definitely have to do that. And taunt while on top of the cage.
Well, we had one been kicking around the idea of even like a different grapple position up there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, grappling while on each side of the cage, You got to be able to suplex somebody over the cage, right?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
What is the art guy working on currently?
Cage animations.
Yep. Yeah, what we're trying to do is we're trying to kind of give Robert all the pieces and parts that he needs to get all that stuff assembled, and it's a long list. Dave just read down the whole list of everything that needs to be done, and it sucks. You wouldn't think it'd be that many, but there really is. Just they just keep going. So. Oh
yeah, and like these animations where you're moving on the cage, climbing over it, jumping down, you have to animate them, with the cage and the ring in mind to get the distances right and everything, so it all lines up. And 1 second of animation, of character animation, could take anywhere from 1 to 8 hours to do, depending on how intricate it is, right? So,
well, Mr. Wrestling 5's got a pretty good knack for all that stuff. And,
yeah,
and what's nice is he doesn't have to like he's doing it pretty good on his first shot out. He doesn't have to do a lot of re-editing. He doesn't have to do a lot of really like you know what I mean. Like he gets it right pretty much the first time out. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the animations we've shown so far, just climbing around the cage up and down, that they look.
Zeron, I want to be able to perform a shooting star press off the top of the cage onto 2 tables with a guy laying in there. You and me both. And then Alex Van Dam, we need Elix, Skipper, Tippy Toe, Hurricane Rana. Oh God. I would love the Rana off the cage, like the tightrope walk. That would be so cool. All right, can you confirm this, Dave? Speaking of tables, something that I hate about the new WWE is that we can't climb on top of tables anymore. We'll be able to do that in Pro Wrestling X and perform crazy stunts. Absolutely.
Yeah, in theory. I mean, unless something... It all depends on how we handle tables. Like... Ideally, at first, tables are probably going to be more like No Mercy, where there's a set table position outside the ring,
right?
And we experiment just getting the table mechanics right without having to deal with moving the table around the level, because that's when glitches are going to start happening, right? So at first, the table's probably going to be set while we iron out the mechanics of dealing with the table.
Foley.
Yeah,
that's more likely.
Then we'll probably start shooting more towards like a Day of Reckoning kind of thing, where you can at least set them up kind of where you want to, or in the corner, nothing too fancy. Because, I mean, you see the potential for glitching when we add more than one wrestler to the ring. You know what I mean? Like, things just exponentially start getting funky. You start throwing table physics in there, You know, it's
Well, but I mean,
be,
if they're just objects, though, I mean, I mean, I can see it from a fan's point of view.
yeah.
Not to get off topic, but this is kind of fun. I set up a 4-way elimination match, and that's just been kind of playing because I'm not even playing right now. My guy got eliminated, and so like the computers are fighting it out. I'm actually really entertained by this. I want to know who's going to win this match. Oh, and we just finally got the final pinfall.
This is a CPU versus CPU right now.
Yeah, you know how you do it is I set up a 4-way elimination match, and then my guy got pinned. And so the 3 guys are just fighting it out in the ring. And then the next guy got eliminated, then the next guy, and so this guy just won the match.
I've never actually tried to watch CPU versus CPU. I
am a mark for CPU versus CPU.
Because, me too. I just didn't think we were there yet.
Especially when you do these broadcasts where I'm trying to pay attention to the chat, and I'm trying to pay attention to my Tigers, and trying to pay attention to all this stuff. It's like this is fun, and so my guy was just kind of getting his ass whooped, and so then once my guy got eliminated because it's elimination rules, the other 3 were actually having a pretty good AI battle. I was kind of watching this, so that's okay.
Hilarious. That's good.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
10 points for Robert for that. Looking good, man. King Leon asked, will we be hiring another art guy programmer in the future? Yeah, I mean, as soon as we can afford to, we will build out the team as we need to. The first kind of milestone we want to get to is putting the current crew to work full-time on the game instead of part-time, so we can move faster now that we know what we're doing, right? Knock on wood, know what we're doing. Just reading down here, Agrone 2, will we have glass tables in the game? Eventually, I want to have everything you've ever seen for hardcore in the game. I want piranha tanks, man. I want I want all that craziness you see in
tear gas. Gotta have the tear gas.
I want all of that eventually, man. So if it exists in real life, or even if it doesn't, I want it to eventually make it in and just be crazy for that kind of stuff, Have you guys been thinking of other concepts for other arenas? Yes, we have. We're going to be building this one out. You might have seen some concept stuff floating around our Facebook page of what we eventually want to do, building the crowd up and the bigger size stadiums and whatnot. And, we've always wanted to do like a high school kind of gymnasium, more of an indie feel kind of thing as well.
And we've got a good one already set and ready to go.
Yeah, we're just, we got so much gameplay mechanic to work out before we can justify more venues yet. So we're kind of working with that, right? Let's see what else we've got here.
Will there be other wrestlers interrupting your matches? Jay Keggs, I think he's new. Because, yes, indeed, we already have run-ins working.
Yeah, you can have run-ins,
Yep. What we do is I have them turned off, and we don't, I don't, I think run-ins are only for the one-on-one matches, right? I've got it turned off anyway, and it's not going to work with the four-way dance here anyway. We never have a 5th wrestler in there.
Exactly. Alex Van Dam saying stage lights would make the stage look a bit more alive. Yeah, I'd like to eventually have entrances, spotlights, that kind of fun stuff.
I'm secretly suspicious that that's something that Robert may be working.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I have just by the hints that he's been dropping on some of our crew forums. I don't want to promise anything, but I suspect entrances may be a bigger deal. We'll see. We'll see.
Even today, we threw something at him almost as a dare. I'll drop a little hint. We were talking about a Japanese game, Giant Graham 2000, and we kind of mentioned a particular aspect of it and threw it to him as a dare. And he might have picked up a challenge. We'll see.
And it's been something that I have personally been waiting for a long time. Like it's been something that is on the checklist for.
Yeah. Well, how did you explain it? How did you explain it to the crew? You came up with some phrase. It's
a bat signal for marks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is. It's a visual cue that it's going to be clear that
we're marks.
We're marks, and we get it, and marks get it too. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Heaven Spawn. King Leon, can we have open scissors deathmatch?
Good Lord.
It's totally possible in future. In fact, it would be perfect right now with the level of blood we have. We should do the art for taped up glass covered fists and do Taipei.
Oh, the Taipei deathmatch.
Yeah, we're there as far as blood goes, man.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Are you guys done building this current arena? No, this current arena is almost placeholder. We never intended this to be a finished arena.
This was programmer. This was Robert was all on this, and actually it looks pretty good. But yeah, it's definitely needs some work, and it's it's time to freshen it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. With a small crew, though, we got to put our resources where they're most needed, and right now it's gameplay, so we kind of put a hold on the aesthetics.
We get a lot of questions like that on Twitter, and I'm kind of having to answer that. And it's like that's the thing and especially for people who are kind of new to the project, like where our priority is always what we're trying to do is nail the gameplay.
Yeah.
Get the grappling, get the basics, the stuff, the movement, the stuff that you expect to be able to do in a wrestling game. Then we can build out story modes and the big, match types and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it sucks.
yeah.
It sucks having to wait so long for a lot of this stuff, but you got to put this thing on a solid foundation and get all the glitches out, figure out how the creative wrestlers are going to work, all that stuff, and lay that foundation. Then we can start going crazy with just like coming up with all the content, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do it. It's hard to do that after the fact. Let's add some new functionality because it ends up cascading and it just spills over down the rest of the road. So
yeah, exactly, man.
You and me both, Alex Van Dam, loving the red mat on the ring. I think that this is my favorite ring by far.
Oh, yeah?
And I love playing on this thing. All right, there.
Oh, that's cool. Getting some questions here. A-Grown2, will we have any new wrestlers? Yeah, we got some plans, concepts already coming in from Art Crew for some new wrestlers. We'll see how that pans out. We definitely want to add some more and buff out the roster. Just need more assets. Zeron wants to know, will each arena have its own features? For example, some might have a place to climb the Titan Drum and jump off it. Yes. For instance, I'd like to do the Japanese-style arena where you've got the trusses up the four corners around the ring, and then they got the lighting ring above. That'd be fun to climb.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even just like your typical stadium arena.
Yeah.
Even your Manias have that, where they have the big lighting rig that's suspended by the pillars.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Alex, is it easy to swap out arenas with the available mod without having too much things? We haven't really tried swapping out arenas yet, so we don't really know. I'm hoping that it's relatively easy. Technically, the ring will always stay at the same world position so that you can build out the other stuff around it without affecting core gameplay. Hopefully, knock on wood, that I might know what I'm talking about. Yeah, kind of like the SmackDown fist. Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from. It'd be nice if we could climb those trusses on our stage even and jump off of them for kicks. Big question: will we have 8-man tags, 10-man tags? Big answer: yes, but the sad answer is not for a while. As you can see, we've still got a lot of glitches and stuff, like you can see during the gameplay here, when we have even 3 guys in the ring that we got to iron out before we go nuts and add too many more guys. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. Let's see here. What about being able to beat up the referee? Yep, as soon as there's a referee in the game, he'll be
fair target, I would think.
He'll be a punching bag, man. I want to be able to reach over the crowd barriers and pull crowd members over.
Well, that's the next question. As you keep working your way down, will you guys change the blood flow of the blood stains on the mat? We're working on that. That's got to get cleaned up. No more white halo. Well, I think some of that is just a different way of doing some of the alpha channels for the blood. I think that would definitely easily be cleaned up.
Yeah, our goal visually is kind of like the Day of Reckoning system of blood, the dripping and the expanding blood pools and that, so that's kind of what we're going to do when we circle back to work more on the blood.
Let Eric be the ref. That is exactly the big dream. I want to be a referee in this game. I think we all have to be playable characters at some point, but I definitely want to lay dibs on the referee.
We got to make it happen, man. I've already talked to I guess this isn't really giving away anything too secret, but I've already talked to other wrestling game developers like Matt Dickey and Dave Horn about being in the crowd and whatnot, so they want to
absolutely. We got to throw a shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
Especially those pioneers, man. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, exactly.
If we hit one, can he stay down for a long time like an actual wrestling so we can cheat? Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially if you had like some foreign objects or something like that. Like you were able to get chairs and the referee. Like if you were able to figure out like what the referee's field of vision was.
Yeah, well,
which
that's why
I think you'd be able to do distance checks.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to figure it out, and so you can actually do things like eventually have your manager actually distract the referee while his back is turned. You can do a chair shot as long as you get it done before he turns back around and sees you. It's all doable, Of course, we don't even have grapple reversals in yet, and those kind of have to come first. And got to do the core gameplay before we get to much more fun stuff. Will we be able to beat up invading fans who jump the barricade? Well, hell yeah. If we ever get to a point where we have fans jumping the barricade, it'll be because we can beat them up. So
absolutely. That's fair. That's definitely fair game. If they enter that ring, they're fair game.
You see that video on YouTube of Triple H just fucking laying into the one guy who got in the ring?
Oh, there are so many. There are so many of those type of videos out there. I mean, it's almost that's almost what encourages these guys. But
I love it, man. I love it. When Dave is a manager, I'd be a horrible manager. I'd probably trip halfway to the ring and roll around holding my knee in pain. So
I was just gonna say, with your hips, you'd have to. I told you have to be like Professor Pro Wrestling X. You have to wheel you in a wheelchair.
Exactly, man. Let's see here. Can you make all matches no DQ in ECW?
Sure can.
We're starting to introduce some basic match rules, but no DQ. Yeah, I think our matches right now are no DQ. So
there's no. Right now we have like a hardcore style that just has like weapons, and there's just no, there's no repercussions. There really isn't anyway. We're pretty liberal with the rules when it comes to that stuff right now anyway.
Will a new version of the Hammerlock gym be made? We talk about this all the time. Not for a while, because when we do redo the Hammerlock gym, we really want to buff out the functionality and areas you can wrestle in the Hammerlock. Like when you go up on the balcony, we want you to be able to bust through the balcony railing and grab pieces of it as a weapon and throw guys out the door into the parking lot and stuff like that. So, oh boy, that was a funny.
I was going to say we got some teleportation going on. Yeah. It's breaking down. It's breaking down. Although this is good because it said we like it when bugs happen because then Robert can go back and fix them and see what's going on. So
yeah, he watches the Twitch replays for his to-do list.
Yeah, right at the fact that we got a good one right now. Oh man, look at this! Is just wow.
Oh.
We got some teleporting Boston Crabs. Some wow, that's freaky.
Well, considering we don't have a Boston Crab in the game, that's
I'm sorry, you're right. Now he's doing the rotation. Yeah, this is.
Oh yeah.
Else. Woo! It's breaking down. It's breaking down.
I'm always happy when I see glitches that I've seen in multi-million-dollar wrestling games made by other companies that I know we're in good company. It's all good. What's the next gameplay implementation? It'll be the cage match. Will be the next gameplay stuff, and some basic match rules, so you can start having first blood and hardcore rules. Will every move have a reversal animation someday? Yeah, someday being the key there. We want to put reversal spots in most of the core moves so that you can do, light, heavyweight, cruiserweight style reversals for each kind of type of move. That's so far off until we can afford to put a crew of like a half a dozen animators to work full time. What do you guys think about Triple Mania 24?
I never saw it.
It's always worth watching, man. I don't know squat
last year
storylines or anything, but it's so fun.
Last year was an absolute train wreck. But I forgot to check it out this year.
Man, I love that new top rope move.
Will you guys show the cage match next week? God, I hope so.
Hey, if we got it, we want to show it. Sleeper Glitch always does it. Yeah, Sleeper Glitch. Sis Stratus DLC, yes. You know what, though? We can't do jokes. No DLC until we're out of early access.
That's right. We'll be all right. We're getting there. We're getting there.
I don't know if you saw in the gaming news, but the company who did that Ark survival game, they're in early access, and they just put out a $20 DLC package. Suffice it to say, their reviews have now gone to mostly negative, and there's a big fan backlash going, what the hell, you're in early access, the game isn't done, and you're charging me $20 for more?
No, you're right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we won't be doing that. Now that a couple weeks have passed, when will you guys release new build? Honestly, it's in glitch fixing mode right now. We would have had it tonight, but Robert doing some quality control, he didn't want it to be seen yet until he.
Well, and he was worried about the fact that we couldn't even keep it stable for an entire Twitch, or he said the memory just blows out, and so I get that. That is something that I can't oh, you're just being like a sensitive artist, and you show no. Like if the game ain't stable, that doesn't do me any good. So.
Yeah, exactly. Will we have a 6-sided ring? I'd like to see one eventually.
I would too.
Know it's going to cause havoc with some of the ring.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about the collisions.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the glitches.
Well, you know what? Maybe not though, because I don't know if we're doing it like that. It's just you're just. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Says the non-programmer and non-artist.
Yeah.
But how are you guys funding this project? We're currently for sale on Steam Early Access, so we do have some. I mean, we're selling units. It's great. You guys have been have been so supportive. It's been awesome, but we're not to the point where like we can all quit our day jobs. Hence the question about the day jobs. We all got to pay our bills and. Do what we got to do, and so that's the other reason why the pace of this stuff. Whoa, baby, look at this Snake Eyes. That is just a mess. It's really broken down. It sucks, and we wish the pace of development was faster, but nobody's working on this full time aside like maybe Robert, but even he's got bills to pay too, and he's got side gigs he's got to take. So
War Games possibility. Yep. I can't wait to add that second ring, man. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. How many units have you guys sold? Not millions, not hundreds of thousands, not tens of thousands.
That's probably good enough right there.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
we're not no private islands yet. No,
we're not marketing. We're not really doing anything to market it beyond the core group of guys who would go looking for it.
Yeah.
Because
we're trying to be real careful because first impressions count.
Yeah,
we're not there yet.
We don't want a bunch of really popular YouTubers, booting up a 4-player match right now that's glitchy and seeing us not at our best, So
we've already done that. That sucks.
We've done that. That's fun. No, we want to put some polish into this before we start going after more eyeballs really seriously,
Yep. So it's kind of we're not that we're on the down low, but it's like there's so many people that haven't heard of us yet. I keep saying that like 90% of the people who eventually will play Pro Wrestling X haven't even heard of us yet.
99 probably, yeah.
We'll see. I think we got a dedicated base of people, but like I said, everybody's been super supportive. Our Steam ratings are very good. We would obviously love more sales. That's what everybody would love. But the summer sales do really well when we slap on the discounts and all that kind of stuff. And you do what you can, guys. I mean, we're not able to make a living yet. Where it's even if we keep the team small, it's still not. You got to sell a lot.
Yeah, but again, all you need to do that is get featured on Steam's front page for 10 minutes.
Well, and that's the trick. I mean, and once we hit 1.0, things are really going to change. Like we're going to be pushing really hard, getting on podcasts, getting on YouTube channels, doing other things that will hopefully get the word out because it'll be a much more mature product. We don't have to because those of you who have been with us for quite some time, there was always a bit of an apology for what we would release because we do the best we can, and we know it's not. We know it's not the SmackDown games. We know it's not the 2K17 games. We know it's not that. Yeah. So there's always a bit of an apology, but we're getting closer and closer to the point where it's like we don't have to apologize for shit anymore. This stuff is looking so good, especially when we got when we first brought Cole on board. He took our art game to like a brand new level, and it was like, holy crap! I want to show off all the artwork now. Look at all this stuff,
Exactly. Exactly, man. It's kind of farting out on me there.
No, it's all good. And we're this last segment. We lasted an hour and 10. We're almost at 11.
Nice.
So let's give her a wrap here. We'll give you the 5-minute warning here, and
exactly.
Get your final questions in, all that stuff.
Let's see here. Heaven Spawn, you guys played 5-Star Pro Wrestling. Some of us have. And let me tell you, man, the guy behind that, Daniel Hinkles, I actually saw him sign into our Twitch earlier. Bum, bum, bum.
Really?
Yeah. Man, he's done an awesome job of running
indeed.
that.
All right.
Yeah, he's done an awesome job of running that project. He really bit off a big responsibility with the amount of funding and crew and everything he put together, and I feel for him. It's a big responsibility, and he was able to ship a game, that's gotten some pretty favorable reaction from wrestling gamers.
I have yet to play it. Cola played it when he was out in the...
Yeah, he met with him.
Yep.
Yeah. I hope he does as well, man. I hope he keeps going.
If you had WWE's budget, you would make a game that's 100 times better. You actually would think so, but more money actually means more problems. And more people means more problems. You'd be surprised.
Exactly.
Money does not solve the ills that you think it would. At least that's my opinion. Dave, can you chime in on that?
More money, more problems. Man.
There is Biggie. Biggie was a genius. He is absolutely right on the money. So, not that I wouldn't like to try. But I'm just telling you. Just ask anybody who's doing these, these big money Kickstarters. I mean, how many of them they will get 1.7, 2.4, 5.8 million dollars, and the game is still a train wreck. What is it? I went and did. Oh, what was the game? Hang on, I'm going to look it up. The Mega Man sequel.
Oh yeah.
Mighty Number 9.
That's right.
I mean, they got a shit ton of money, but the development didn't go any faster because it's just the process is hard. All right, apparently my match here has completely died off. This guy in the ring is currently dead.
Well, there's a reason why. When you look at the indie game scene, for every one wrestling game that's trying to be developed by a group of indies, there's probably 100 shooters or third-person adventures. Wrestling games, and I will say this to the face of any other genre of game developer, wrestling games are the hardest video game to make well. They're just so intricate. They are almost every type of game rolled into one. That was some of the advice I got when I first started this project. I met with a game producer just to get some advice before I started, and he warned me straight up: wrestling games are almost impossible to make well. And look at the big companies that tried and failed, like EA with Mayhem and Backstage Assault. They had huge budgets. They had really smart developers who knew what they were doing, but that doesn't translate into a good game, and that's why you have to be careful now these days with Kickstarters. You'll see a lot of Kickstarter campaigns of guys who are like, hey man, I worked on Call of Duty and I want to make this kind of game, and
even though he was probably an intern that did nothing more than get coffee for the actual program.
Yeah,
it was like, no
exactly.
man, you're like, yeah. Listen, it's you gotta kick the tire, and people are getting smarter. I'm definitely getting smarter about what I back.
Yeah. These
days,
days,
we've all been there, though. In fairness, we've all been there. So
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I had to go put up the splash screen because the game crashed. I think there was a reason the guy wasn't dead. I think the game was just like, I'm tired. We ran for almost an hour straight, and that's So
Heaven Spawn is like, you guys actually care about your fans. Well, yeah, because if it wasn't for you guys, we would be very pathetic losers sitting here talking just to ourselves.
Well, we're pathetic losers anyway. Let's be honest.
We're grown men who spend our time making men in tights pretend fight. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the fans of what kept us going. I mean, this is for those who are new to us. This is not our. We've been doing this since 2002. 756 newsletters, I think, is what we're up to right now for our weekly newsletters. So, we've been doing this for some time. It's hard. So,
have you guys thought of defending championships in exhibition mode? Honestly, that's probably going to be one of the things you see coming up after 1.0, because we want to start working on story mode kind of scripting and mechanics. But before we do that, we just want to give you a basic, almost like WCW NWO Revenge, fight 10 matches and win a belt kind of thing. Then you can defend the belt. We're going to start really basic, just to make sure we get everything working properly.
Yep.
So that's probably what you'll see first.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So there you go.
You ready to give it a wrap here? It's getting late.
I am, man. I got a house guest staying with me one more night, so I better go take care of that.
No. It's all good.
Thank you, everybody, for stopping by and checking in on us. Hopefully, next time you see us, we have something new to show you.
Yeah, fingers crossed, gang. I mean, like I said, I trust in Robert. We trust, so we're going to do the best job we can. But for those who are new, ProWrestlingX.com. That's where you can go to sign up for the email list, and then we've also got Facebook.com/ProWrestlingX. We're on Twitter @ProWrestlingX. I will probably be live tweeting the Backlash show on Sunday night because I usually do all the live tweeting of the pay-per-views and all that kind of fun jazz. So come say howdy, and it's, please keep in touch and check back with us. Always check our social media if you're wondering if we're going to go. We always go do our Twitch right around this time, Tuesday nights at 10 Eastern. It's kind of a shitty time, I know. Sorry about that, but it's also kind of hard to coordinate. So, speaking
of shitty times, wow! Hats off to Zeron, who said it's 4:28 in Portugal, where he's listening to the stream. So,
damn, yo,
4:28 a.m. You are the man. Jesus.
Well, and Zeron is an unsung hero. We got to give him major props because, like I said, he took some of our earliest screenshot Saturdays and the camera angles, and he was one of the few that were really making the screenshots work, and it was so cool. I haven't even checked in a little while, but we would mark out like crazy when we'd see some of that stuff. So.
Exactly, and even though they're not here, man, big thanks to Mr. Wrestling 5, our lead artist, and our programmer Robert,
Indeed.
who are they're the reason that we have stuff to show you.
Indeed.
So it's all good, man. Thanks a lot, you guys. Hope you guys all have a great night or a great morning, as it is with Zeron. And follow us on social media. We'll be in touch with new stuff soon. Cheers.
Rock and roll. Cheers.